Well, I'll tell you what, we've hit that time of the evening now where we have to do a number here off the Battle Scars album. And I'll tell you about Battle Scars here while I retune and put this thing in an open tune. Other guys have changed guitars, not me. I like to have a relationship. Yeah. I like to get personal and up close with this beast. Battle Scars was an album I did some years back, about 5 years ago, and I tried to tell a story with music. It's kind of a concept album. I tried to tell a story about something that happened to me, and if you're very lucky, it won't happen to you. I'll tell you the story. I developed a liver disease. It's called hepatitis C. I know some of you have heard of it. Well, when it kicked in, I got very sick, and they put me in a hospital, and they put me in a bed, they laid me on my back, and I remained in that bed for 8 months. I lost 120 pounds. I got some severe brain damage. I lost the ability to talk. I did not recognize my wife or my children. The last minute, right before I went to the big jam session in the sky, they gave me a liver transplant. They saved my life by doing that. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
But then they sent me home and the real work started because I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to stand up. My legs didn't work at all because I had been in bed for 8 months, man. I also had to learn how to talk again, and I still get tongue-tied. I had to get speech therapy. But the real bummer for me of all of it was when I got home, I did not know how to play the guitar anymore. It had been wiped clean from my memory due to the brain damage. I didn't know what to do with this thing. I was like, what the hell is this thing? And my wife said, well, you just got to start over again. You got to sit down, you got to relearn how to play. So I started over again, and I taught myself from scratch, the same way I did back in 1961. Yes, I'm old. And I worked on it 6-7 hours a day, every day for about a year, and slowly the music came back. And then when the music came back, But then once again, it was my wife. She said, you know, you got some severe PTSD, dude, and you are really rough to be around. So you either go see a shrink or try writing a song. And I thought, I'll try writing a song. Well, in 2 days, I wrote 18 songs about that experience, and that became the Battle Scars record. Now, that record is pretty graphic. It's pretty dark. You know, it's depressing. But I didn't write those songs to be recorded. I wrote them just as therapy did, discuss what happened to me. The song we're going to do for you now has a story behind it, and this is the story, and this is the honest truth. You can believe it or not, doesn't matter. I'd been in that bed for 6 months when this happened to me in the hospital. It was dark. It was nighttime. I had been in bed for half a year at this point, and I was very close to death. And suddenly, in the darkness above me, there were these beautiful white lights, and they were flying around the room. And I was just hypnotized. I was mesmerized. I watched them, and then they spoke. I heard them in my head, and they said, hey, Walter, you want to fly with us? I said, oh, yeah. And I left my body. I could see myself down there in the bed, and I became white light, and I was flying with it. And I had a feeling I've never had before that I cannot explain. The word bliss doesn't cover it. It was a deep, profound, unexplainable peace. And they said, you want to come with us? I knew that meant I would die. They were giving me a choice, and I said, you know, I want to stay. I want to fight. I want to try to be a husband and a father and a guitar player. They said, okay, we'll see you someday. And suddenly I was back in my body and felt like shit. But I believe they were angels? You can call them whatever you want. I don't know what they were, but that was a vividly true story that happened to me that night. And I sat down and I wrote a song for those light beings that wanted me to